Once I remove the decay, you can see that there's decay here. There's the outline. I'm going to remove all of the decay, and now I'm going to place my ring. Now, these rings are new to Clinician's Choice. These are called the dual force rings. And the thing about the dual force ring is it allows you probably about 37% more separation. It has its separate active wedge with it, the dual force active wedge. And what you do is you want to pre-wedge. Pre-wedging will allow you about 2 pounds of separation. If you want to be guaranteed that you're going to have a tight contact, you can pre-wedge. And then using the dual force ring, we put that on the tooth. We get nice separation. And now I'm going to etch the tooth. Because I'm using a total etch material, the MPA Max, I'm going to etch the enamel for about 10 seconds, and then I'm going to flood the tooth for 5 more seconds. And then I'm going to rinse the tooth. And the first thing that I'm putting down here is a desensitizer. This happens to be like a glutaraldehyde, like Gluma. This is called G5. They're G5, and it's a generic, basically Gluma. Less expensive. I scrub this on, and what I want to do is form a barrier and actually decrease sensitivity. And once I place that, I'm going to suction that off with a suction tip. And what I'm going to do now is not dry that. I don't want to dry it. I want to just suck that off, and then I place my adhesives. The thing about the dual force rings is they're easy to open because you go on the plastic. You're not putting the separating instrument on the metal. You put it on the plastic to separate it. You come in at about a 45-degree angle. The other thing is when you're doing the wedges, you almost want to come in at a 45-degree angle, go under the contact, and then come back. And it creates a tighter matrix seal for less finishing. If it doesn't adapt well, you're not going to be able to finish well. And so I want to make sure that it adapts as well as possible. Here we are scrubbing the tooth with the MPA. We light cure it. Make sure you're using a curing light that has good output. Okay, check your curing lights, because a lot of times your curing lights will be deficient in the output. One thing I don't skimp on, curing lights. You can buy a curing light online for $29. I want a curing light that's going to be one of the top-rated curing lights. I'd say the Velo Grand, which is available in the U.S. I think the 3M Elipar light. These are good lights. I think the Dematron lights. But I have my preferences. You can see what I use here. So I want to see a shiny surface. Now, I do not use a flowable in the box. If I was going to use a flowable, I would use a flowable, but what I would not do is light cure the flowable. If you use a flowable and you get it too thick, what will happen is it's gonna shrink more. So if you're going to use a flowable, put the flowable in the box, and then what I would do is snow plow, place the composite in the preparation, and if I'm using a regular composite, I'm not building this in one increment. I'm going to build it in 2 increments. So I'll place the composite, build the first increment, light cure it, and then I do the next increment. So I'll do this in 2 increments. And then what I'll do is look at that, make sure that the band has been on there, well. I shouldn't have very much flash when I take this ring off. As you can see, this is that dual force active wedge, the active wedge here, and it actually, it won't crush the papilla. It's a very interesting the wedge. And when I said that I was using the MPA Max, it provides about 45 megapascals of strength. bond strength to dent and enamel, and it also contains chlorhexidine to inhibit the MMP formation of matrix metalloproteinases. That can eat away the hybrid layer. So I'm going to remove that wedge, and then I'm going to have to finish and polish. You can see I don't have a lot of finishing. This is just one shade of composite. I'll use a few carbides, and then I'm using the ASAP polishers. These are from Clinician's Choice. This first purple one has 45 microns of diamonds. It's diamond impregnated. Very, very nice shine. The other one is 3 to 6 microns. And we get done. We have a polish restoration. I fixed the mesial of the lower second molar. You can see we polished that away. And now we also, so you can see the restoration.